Now that Trump's posse came to town and circled the wagons, the media realizes they're facing a united Republican Party. Republicans running towards battle. We haven't seen that in a while. And the posse should be growing. We should have had the entire House and Senate Republican caucus outside that courthouse, speaking on behalf of a president who's unfairly gagged by a judge who donates to Biden. These 34 charges turned the Trump campaign into a movement that stunned the left, leaving them no choice but to mock it.
It's sort of even a mimetic thing. If you saw him with his hands like this, you know, he's trying to even act and speak like Trump. Those people standing out there, they're just spineless sycophants. They're going to say and do whatever Donald Trump wants.
The media is disparaging duly elected Republicans and worshiping every single word uttered by a porn star Ghostbuster and a convicted felon. Stormy Daniels gets paid to have sex with men on camera and says she can talk to dead people. But the media thinks a senator defending a president's honor is the joke. In the media's world, the disbarred lawyer who wears Superman T-shirts, cowboy hats, and Roman war helmets is the one we have to take seriously. Fighting for due process rights? That's just pathetic. Why is the star witness in the so-called trial of the century wearing costumes like a theater kid anyway? The entire trial's political theater. They made up a crime, and now the media is reenacting it. Watch.
He goes, "How long do you think I will be on the market for?" Not long.
What did you understand that to mean?
He wasn't thinking about Melania. This was all about the campaign.
Abby, they're talking Oscars over there. I'm going to tell you right now, that was good. That was a good rendition. It's important to do this.
Is it? Today was the climax. Alvin Bragg's star witness, Michael Cohen, back on the stand for day 2 of testimony.
Michael, looked like another rough day on the stand for you. Are you obsessed with Donald Trump? Why do you want to see him get convicted? Do you think you might be a pathological liar?
Trump's defense attorney finally got to cross-examine Cohen. And right when it got started, he threw a haymaker. Ready? "We've never met, but you know who I am, don't you?" Cohen says yes. "You called me a little bleep on TikTok." Cohen saying, "It sounds like something I'd say." Judge Merchan saying, "Approach the bench." Trump's defense attorney drew blood early, getting Michael Cohen to admit that he called Trump a dictator D-bag who belongs in an effing cage like an animal. From there, the defense painted a picture of Cohen trashing Trump to cash in. Cohen admitted he mentioned Trump in every single one of his podcasts, over 200 of them. Cohen testified he raked in over $3.5 million on his anti-Trump book deals. Trump's legal team even asked him, "Why are you selling $35 T-shirts with Trump in an orange jumpsuit behind bars?" Which Cohen used as an opportunity in court to plug his shop, directing the jury to his website to buy merch. Cohen even admitted he was addicted to going on MSNBC and CNN, even after the DA told him multiple times, "Stop going on TV and talking about the case." Cohen disobeyed the DA's instructions. And he even admitted to leaking stories to the media to damage the defendant. Cohen was made to testify that he didn't always hate Trump. He used to love him. He was obsessed with him. Felt like he was a member of the Trump family. Owed his entire career to Donald Trump. Made $4.5 million in 1 year while Trump was president, just from new clients, just because his title was counselor to the president. But soon Cohen became a scorned lover after the feds raided his office and flipped him. How'd they do it? They told Michael Cohen he had 48 hours to plead guilty. And if he didn't, they'd put him in prison for the rest of his life, as well as his wife. That's evil. Flip on Trump or your wife rots in prison? They did that to me, I might flip too. I love my wife. When Cohen was serving time, Bragg's office came to him and said, "Would you cooperate with us on the Stormy case?" And Cohen says, "What's in it for me?" "What's in it for me" should be written on Cohen's tombstone. Cohen could never work in corporate America again. He's angry, he's broke. So he went on a revenge tour. Anti-Trump book deals, T-shirts, Netflix, TikTok, CNN, trashing Trump for income and saying anything They could put the man who made him behind bars. All because Trump wouldn't bring him to Washington and make him White House chief of staff. When your star witness is a rat who lies for cheese, you know your case is fizzling out. So what do the Democrats do when they're out of cards to play? You know what time it is. The race card. The View doesn't think Trump will be convicted, not because there isn't a crime and the star witnesses are lying flakes, but because the courtroom is too white.
I was in the courtroom again yesterday. Yes, thank you. Thank you. What I want to do is give a little color to the courtroom because a lot of people are
redo that.
No, little color. I mean that literally and figuratively.
When they play the race card, you know that's the only card they have left. That means they know they lost. Carrie Kupek, inside the courtroom today. Did you sit next to her?
I sat in front of her yesterday.
Okay, so she was staring at your very white and blonde head. What's it like inside? And what was it like today of all days?
You know, one thing that's interesting is I'm sitting among press who I've known for years, going back to my days working at DOJ and before that. And I know for a fact that a lot of them have been recipients of psychotic phone calls from Michael Cohen when he worked for Donald Trump. So as they're watching him testify, I don't know how they couldn't remember some of the ranting things that he would say to them, the cursing, just the craziness. And, you know, other than that, I have to say, I thought your monologue was excellent. The thing that really stands out is how obsessed he is with him. It's weird.
It's an obsession. He's wearing costumes. He thought he could actually be White House chief of staff. That's how delusional he is. And he's now on this revenge tour for cash. Did the defense establish that?
You know, they're going through this. This has been a bit of a plodding walk through his testimony, both with the prosecution now. We're finally on to cross. It's going to spill over into Thursday. But one thing I think that people aren't paying enough attention to, and you mentioned it in your monologue, is that he continued to retain the title of attorney to Donald Trump in 2017 and 2018. This is when Trump was in the White House. The reason that matters is because he also testified yesterday that these invoices that he submitted were false, that they were not for services that year, they were services in the past, and it was reimbursement. Well, wait a second. If you were Trump's attorney and you testified that you made millions of dollars in outside consulting gigs because of that title that you otherwise wouldn't have gotten, then isn't it reasonable that Trump may have thought, you know, if he even knew how this was classified and how exactly he was getting paid, that he was still operating as his personal attorney, given that he was his personal attorney still?
Yes, he was. So is the jury digesting this? Are they at attention? Are they dialed in? Are they following this? Or do they fall asleep? Do they, when they hear about sex, do they get to the edge of their seats? Carrie?
Well, one thing I noticed is that when the prosecution a couple of times had to say to Michael Cohen, tell the jury this, because he wasn't looking at them.
Oh.
And that's not good. And,
not good.
And so when he did look at them, they would look back and be engaged. They're taking notes. But, you know, we'll see. They have to contend with the fact that for weeks they've been listening, like I've been listening, to every single witness saying bad things about him before he even started testifying, which is remarkable if you think about it. These are the prosecution's witnesses who are all saying bad things about their star witness, in direct contrast, by the way, to the same witnesses who have said pretty good things about Trump the whole time.
Ooh,
so it's interesting.
That is interesting. Now, you don't ever make predictions, do you? Because you've been in there almost every day. Have you been there every single day?
I've been there almost every day.
So if anybody was going to make a prediction about how this was going to shake out, it would be you. And you're going to do that right now. You're not going to do it.
You know, this is what I would say. There are two lawyers on this jury. I don't see how these lawyers can sit there and not ask themselves, what is the crime exactly? Why are we here?
Be sure to swing by. TrumpRap.com's the spot. Give my tunes a try. I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
It's not about justice. It's not about agenda. It's not about mobilizing people. It's about dialing for corporate dollars. These two parties have sold the U.S. government and the American people to the highest bidders.
Be sure to get out and vote early.